All right, we're recording. All right, guys. So tonight is what, night 6 of boot camp, and this was an extra night that we decided to add on just because Instagram is such a beast of its own platform. And to be honest with you, it's something that definitely we need to be able to spend some time on. And there's multiple layers to Instagram. And one of the things I want to put out there is I can teach you all the things to do, just like I know how to work Instagram. I know how to gather engagement, to meet new people, to network through there, because that's how I kind of began in network marketing. With that said, even if I'm not staying consistent with it, I'm not going to sign customers. I'm not going to bring in new people. I'm not going to continue to get, that growth happening there. So I want to teach you these things, but I want to make sure that you understand that if you're not consistent with it and you don't work it on a regular basis, you're going to have a hard time picking up that momentum. And I also want to say that we're not going to be going into Instagram stories tonight. I'm going to be honest with you and tell you I'm not the strongest when it comes to stories. I'm going to give you some tips on interacting in stories, and some basic things that you can do with stories. I don't even have any stories up right now, maybe some TikTok videos or something, but it's not something that I've literally spent a lot of time in. I'm probably the world's least creative person. But with all of that said, you guys, I've been very successful in this industry, and it all began with Instagram. So I still have a lot that I can bring to the table and teach you. And the biggest thing is with Instagram is that it's all about who you're reaching, making that connection with people, and really just continuing to build that relationship, right? But you've got to keep on showing up for it. So I want to start with this. I want you guys over in the comments section to tell me why you want to be on Instagram. Like what is your reasoning for wanting to learn Instagram? And the reason why I'm asking this is for a very specific reason. And I want to know what your whole purpose behind wanting to learn Instagram is. I want to see what you're saying. Creating opportunities, new contacts, better connecting, better understanding with people. I heard from best platform marketing. Grow my network and grow my audience. Okay. All right, good. So here's the reason why I asked that is because when people say they just want to go over there and get sales, it makes me cringe because sometimes it's going to happen fast. Sometimes it's not. Okay. So I'm going to tell you, on the very first night of the boot camp, I said my first book that I read was Your First Year of Network Marketing. And in that book, they talked about growing my network. So I went on to Google and I said, how can I grow my network? And one of the things that popped up was Instagram. At the time, literally, I probably had 5 pictures on my Instagram. My Instagram name was like something really wacky. It like had all these numbers and whatever in it, and it wasn't something that would be searchable at all. And anyways, I was like, how do I take this and make people get to follow me? So then that's when I started learning about hashtags. And hashtags, I started immediately incorporating into every single post. And I thought of it like this. If somebody were to go to Google, so I want you to picture Instagram as Google, okay? Instagram is your new Google. I just want you to go there with it. Listen to me, please. So I took it as Instagram being my new Google. So if I wanted to find something and I was somebody that was on Instagram and I wanted to find something, a product or somebody I wanted to follow, what kind of hashtag would I use? Oh my gosh, it was like a light bulb went off. People are searching for exactly what you have to offer, but you're not putting it out there. If you're not doing something to make people find you, how in God's green earth are they going to find you if you're not searchable, right? So I don't care what anybody tells you. Okay. I don't care what anybody tells you. I want to encourage you today, starting today, to always incorporate at least one hashtag that is very relevant to you, your business, your brand, whatever it might be. You remember those 5 things that we told you about Facebook? Same thing goes to when it comes to your branding, when it comes to Instagram. People are always going to need to know why they're going to follow you. So let's start with your profile, okay? Because it's probably it's the first thing that people are going to see. First of all, I'm going to tell you, and there's conflicting things here. I only teach public Instagram. I don't teach private Instagram. Yes, I could sit here and tell you to go and approve every single person that likes your page, create curiosity, all of that jazz. I'm going to tell you right now, you better be on Instagram 24/7 or all the time, or you need to have already created a huge network of people that are following you. I would not start with private. Anyways, that's just my personal opinion. That's pretty much every guru's opinion that I follow. And it's just not, I've never been able to build on Instagram privately. So your profile should always be your picture. You don't want it to, you want it to be something that's clear. You want it to be something, again, not your cats or dogs or anything like that. Unless you're like giving your dog a kiss and you're like a big dog person, then that kind of recommend, like, you know, it still shows you, and it shows your love for your animals, and that's part of your brand. Then maybe that's something you want to put in there. But for the most part, you want your picture. You want it to be clean, clear, you know, something that truly represents you. Your profile, you want to put words in it, okay? I'm not big on a ton of emojis. I do want you guys to know, though, that, let me pull it up on my actual Instagram here, because I want to show you something. Your name, your profile name that you should have should be something that is, again, unique to you. It can be your name. Mine is my first and last name with a dot in the middle because my full name was taken when I first started. I'm just going to tell you what my name was. And this was a big no-no, actually, because it had my company's name in it. But it works, Amanda Arnett. It was literally my company's name and then my name. I wouldn't recommend that. But if you're somebody that, you know, that, I don't know, like I follow different people and some of their stuff is what their brand name is. Personally, for me, I would stay away from anything like to do with your company. Just because if you would ever happen to change companies like I did, you wouldn't, you'd be stuck. Like you'd have to change your name and, you know, you'd lose a lot of that branding. So I would definitely recommend your name or something that is associated with you in some way, shape, or form. You know, if you look up Twin, for example, which, by the way, guys, Twin is phenomenal with stories. Oliver Tan is on Facebook, but Twin Koo on Instagram, and it's actually TATT.TU. She's awesome. She posts incredible pictures, but also her stories are just incredible. And there's a lot of people. I mean, I could list off a lot of people that just nail it when it comes to their Instagram. But guess what? They don't always have a ton of followers or a ton of likes or a ton of comments or anything like that. But I want to encourage you that you can have a name that is fitting to you. And the reason why her name is what it is because she used to do microblading. Okay. So it fits her because that's what she used to post about all the time. And then that name just stuck with her. And that's who she is. So you might have something that's associated with you or not. Right. But anyways, the part of your entire profile that is searchable is the name you put in right here. Okay. That is the name that you put in here. So when you're doing, hold on. Let me see if I can get mine to screen share because that would be super helpful for you guys if I can get my screen share to work right now. Let me see. We might be able to. Let me pull up. Hold on. I think we're gonna get it. Ah, can you guys see it? Can you see my phone? Uh-oh.
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, I was gonna say because everybody's face is like locked. Okay, cool. So since you guys can see it, here we go. All right. So this part right here, I'm just gonna that's my username. That's what is gonna be searchable. This profile part right here that I am showing you. See where I'm erasing my name? If you could put your company name in there if you wanted to. I wouldn't recommend it. But maybe you want to put network marketer. Maybe you don't want people to know you're a network marketer. I don't know, whatever you want to do. But this part of your profile is what is searchable. So like if you would like to put mompreneur or some word that you use a lot, this is let's do Lisa, for example, okay? She could put millionaire waitress right there. Millionaire, searchable, waitress, searchable, right? Boom. Lisa, I just gave you a hint. So in your name section right there is where you would want to put something like that. Maybe whatever your brand is or whatever you want to go to, okay? This part of your bio right here, I'm going to tell you guys, you got to play around with it. I like to put it in my notes section so that I get it falling exactly how I want. I use and I reach out to and follow a lot of people that had vertical sleeve gastrectomy. That is what that hashtag VSG. It's very personal for me and my journey. So when people come to my profile, they know that I also had the same surgery. I'm not just some network marketer trying to scam them. I'm somebody that actually can relate to, sorry, that's my daddy and my kids. You see on my screensaver. So I have my journey there, okay, and my minus 100 pounds. I have that I was an RN and an industry leader and a big eyes. And the reason why I did that is because I want to create a curiosity of what is she? What does she do? I'm obsessed with social marketing and helping others achieve their health, financial goals, and earn trips, because those are three things that I absolutely love to do, right? So that tells you a little bit about me. Your bio should tell you what people are going to learn about you if they come to your page. What kind of stuff are you going to be sharing? And people get me, they get a lot of times that I'm a mom, but most of the time they get more me and my journey, and that's kind of where that goes. Okay, so you kind of want to put a little bit about you. If you are, it doesn't matter your rank in your company, it doesn't matter any of that stuff. You could put that if you want to. You just fill it out to be individualized to you. So I do have a business account set up. I wouldn't necessarily suggest doing that, because if you do that, it can't go to your personal page. We're in my company not allowed to post business posts on our business pages, so it gets a little tricky there. And now that mine has been connected to this page for so long, it's hard for me to unconnect it and not mess up my stuff. So anyways, that's why mine says entrepreneur there, because it is a business account. But I don't share it to that page. So anyways, this is the only stuff that you need to see in this section right here. Okay. So I want you guys to understand something else, that I have been on Instagram since June of 2013. So when you see somebody's Instagram followers, I want you to keep that in mind. I also have posted 13,000 times on Instagram. Okay. Um, so I want you to understand that that is a very critical thing. And I have been very inconsistent over the years. I'm either very on or I'm very off. And something that somebody told me, and I'm going to come off of the screen share. No, I'm not going to yet. Something that somebody told me once upon a time was that it doesn't matter how long of a break you took from Instagram, just reintroduce yourself. So I want to scroll down here for a second, because I want to show you guys some different things. I want to show you some different things about my Instagram over the years. I also want you to notice something very, very consistent here. You notice that I have like a kind of like a trend happening, right? You see all these quotes, they're all in one order. It's because every 2 posts I put a white quote in the background. I got away from that for a while, but then I went back to it because I really liked it. Okay. You can get whatever theme you want going on, but I want to show you, and I'm scrolling way far back on my page because I want to show you that I haven't always done that. And I want to show you the difference in the eye-catching ability of my page and what I've kind of done and adjusted over time. Okay. So some of the recommendations for your page is going to be, and just don't even pay attention, it's going to take me a minute to scroll back quite some time, is this. Who are you? Why should people follow you? Your website link, I do recommend putting a Linktree account. I also would recommend that I would also recommend that if you don't do a Linktree, do some kind of thing that will link to both your personal Facebook, your website if you have one, a blog if you have one, any type of, if you have multiple websites, I suggest Linktree. If not, you can link it to your Facebook or your page or whatever. But yeah, so I want you to also know this. You want to have some kind of pattern, some kind of trend going on. You can use a common filter. A lot of people do what's the Lightroom. Okay. I want you to understand this. And the reason why I'm scrolling way back is because Instagram has changed over time. I used to do all these background photos, but it was very consistently, and I'm going to click off of here in a second. Okay, so you see how I did all this white border? Obviously, you can see there was a trend happening there. Okay, you can do a white border, something that catches your attention. I need to move this chat over. You can. One thing that you will notice with me was that I was obviously very consistent with that white border. You still got to know me. You saw what my products were, but it was enough that it caught your attention. Something else that I really think is super important is that I was very consistent. I was signing customers left and right, and I was always putting my product out there. That's something I think a lot of people have gotten away from, and I think that we need to understand that it's okay to advertise our products. Now I'm going to scroll real quick, so ignore me for just 1 second while I go off of that. Okay, so I want you to see where I started to get back into that trend, and that's something that worked for me. Okay. I'm not even posting about my products that much. I post more in my stories. But I want to encourage you guys to not be afraid of posting your products. And I'm going to show you a reason here in just a reason why. I also want to encourage you that if you want to switch it up, just switch it up. Okay. Because this part right here, again, it's all me. Okay. It's nothing to do with, it has a little bit to do with my business, but people are getting to know me. And guess what, guys? This is where I started building a lot of relationships, was me just sharing, being unapologetically me. And guess what? That's who people are going to want to join. And then I got back into really missing putting my quote out there. I want you to notice when you're watching me on this page, you're getting me. Like there's no, it's unapologetically who I am. Okay. And that is what is going to draw people to you guys. So when people come to your page, they need to be able to make that connection with you. And guess what? Because I'm putting myself out there, I'm building stronger relationships at this point. I don't have to post every single day, because when somebody comes to my page, when I'm out making the connections that I'm making, I'm going to stop screen sharing for just 1 second. When somebody comes to my page, I'm going to go back to screen sharing here in just a little bit now that we got it to go up, because it's going to be awesome for this. When somebody comes to my page, they're making that association with me and my business, and like they're getting to know me and trust me, know, like, and trust factor, right? So I want you to understand that is hugely, hugely important here. And for you to make your own brand, not to be like me, not to be like the next person in your business. No, Linktree is a free account. What is the name of, Lightroom is the name of the editing app. Most of the Lightroom presets you do have to pay for. I'm going to tell you that right now. Most of the stuff, guys, if you want to just do a filter, use an Instagram filter. It's free. Okay. I don't want you to spend money on stuff that you're not going to be consistent with. So get consistent with something first. Perfect your art next. Stacy says it all the time. The fact is that literally, guys, doing the action, it is what you need to focus on. You don't need to focus on being perfect. You need to focus on doing it. Okay. So I want you to get a pattern happening, right? Pick a time of the day to post or to interact. Like if you can post morning, noon, and night, great, do it. If you can only post in the nighttime, only post in the nighttime. That's fine, but stick to it. If you can only post in the morning, great, stick to it. All right. Get that audience happening in your time of day. I can tell you that while my kids are home, like during the daytime, I'm not consistent with anything. Like it's hit or miss. Okay. So I know right now, if I'm going to work Instagram, it needs to be at nighttime, right after they go to bed, and like in my peace time where I'm not doing Zooms. I'm not doing anything else. It's just, I can sit down and I can hammer it down. And that's when I'm making my connections. Okay. So when you make your post, let me go back to, I'm going to go back to screen sharing because this is easier to teach by screen sharing. I'm going to teach you what we have coming up now. And I'm going to answer questions here in just a little bit, but not right now. Okay, we're back on screen share. Can you guys, no, you can't see. Hold on. How bad is it? My network. Can you guys see what my network name is? Sorry. I just think it's funny if you can see that. It's so funny. My network.
You wanted to throw something in there. I don't know. So you're saying talking about like putting it into like an order of like some sort. So there's an app called Planoly and it works amazing for that. You can like pre-set up your stuff before you post it.
Yeah, there's quite a few of them. Overlay, what Planoly, is that how it is? PLAYO. Yeah. There's a couple of them. Layout is also another one as well. I'm trying to think. There's another Preview. Preview also is one of them. So you guys find them. You're going to find out that there's a lot of apps for that. And listen, what she just said is golden. Okay. If you're somebody that needs to like set this up, I can tell you that I am not a pre-planner. I have to post in the moment what I feel. But some people like to make their post. Like I know, different people on my team, they like to make these pretty setups. And actually I will show you, one of those exactly what I'm talking about here in just a second. Sorry. If I am off my phone too long, it locks it out. So where do you put hashtags? People ask that. Okay. And I'm going to show you this right now. So when you go to put a post up, I want you to, just for example, when you go to put a post up, I want you to think like this. You want your post to have whatever. You can spread it out. I am not too particular. I don't normally like my stuff all super smashed together like that. I normally like it a little bit more laid out. I'm looking to see a post that I have it like more laid out. I don't leave a lot of spaces in between or anything like that. But one thing I like to do is my very first post is where your hashtags want to be. Okay. Your very first post. And these hashtags all came from, I use an app called Tagomatic. it helps generate hashtags. There's so many of them, guys. You can generate literally hashtags, you know, on Instagram by Googling what the best hashtag app is. You can go to Google and type in the best hashtags, whatever, right? But the reason why I use Tagomatic is I'll show you why. I'll show you why, because this is my life and I love it. Okay, so I just told you, I type about my vertical sleeve gastrectomy, for example, vertical sleeve gastrectomy, VSG, my hashtag that you've seen in my profile. Okay, so a lot of my posts are going to be relevant to that. All right, I want you to see this. Look, boom, 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 boom. All of these hashtags are people that are VSG people. They're all relevant. I can just go down through and I can add more of them if I want to, right? So you're going to have some kind of hashtag or something that is common to you that is, maybe it could be mom, you know, different things that you are a mom and you have like some kind of mom hashtag that you really like, right? So anyways, you're going to hit that copy to clipboard. Boom. I just copied them. I'm going to go to my Instagram post right now and I'm going to type up my Instagram post. I don't want to share it to my page. Whatever, Okay, great. I'm going to go grab my hashtags. I'm going to make this post, hit share. My very first comment is going to be copy those hashtags in, remove the hashtags by Tagomatic and hit go. I know I said that kind of quick, but I'm making my post. I'm making my caption, which is not fudge, but I'm just going to put that there just so you get the point. Fudge. Okay, I'm hitting okay. I'm going to go create my hashtags on Tagomatic. I'm hitting the save button. I come back here, I hit share, boom, I hit this. The reason why I'm telling you is please listen to me. Your hashtags will only be relevant for just a few minutes on Instagram. Your hashtags are only going to be relevant for a few minutes, the first few moments after you post them on Instagram, okay? Depending on how popular that hashtag is, when somebody searches it, they're either going to see it right then whenever you post it, or it's because they're searching hashtags. And I'm going to teach you how to do that here in a second. So you're going to make your post. You're going to hit okay. You're going to hit okay. You're going to go get your hashtags. Maybe you have a set of hashtags in your clipboard that you use every time. Maybe you have Tagomatic. Maybe you're using another hashtag app, whatever it might be. And you're going to hit share on your post and you're going to immediately in the first comment put your hashtags. I know people are going to ask, how many hashtags do you use? That is totally up to you. Sometimes I use 30 hashtags. Sometimes I use 15 hashtags. Sometimes I use just a couple hashtags. The more hashtags you use, the more relevant the hashtags are to your actual post. The more people that are going to connect with that post, follow that post, like that post, engage with that post, and so on. Okay. Depending on what your following is and what your audience wants, a post might get good hits, some might get no hits, some might get a bunch of spam on them. You know, it's just going to be hit or miss sometimes, and it's kind of filling out what that is going to be. Again, I'm not going to read the questions right now because I will get sidetracked. You guys should know that. So I'm just going to discard this. By the way, if you don't want to pay for an app or you don't want to use one of the other apps, if you have a post that you want to start creating like saved posts, you can go all the way through, and when you get to this part and you've wrote out your caption, you can actually hit that back button. Oh, never mind. Instagram changed. You can't do it anymore. I was going to say you used to be able to save it. I know you can save it down here to a collection. Did you just see what I just did? This little button right here underneath that promote post. So you can promote them if you have a business page. I don't ever promote them because they're expensive. So, but you can, oh, not that, not that. Oh, no, 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 God. See, I don't want to do that. I just want to show you that you can save them. Okay. And you can go in and look at them again later. So, oh, look, twin. One of the people I was telling you, she does use a layout app And what kind of cool stuff can you do with the layout app? Do you see that group picture that she has right there? Can you guys see that? This group picture right here? She is posting them back to back. The problem with these layout apps though, is that sometimes when you use them, the next time you make a post, everything's going to be off balance. So the only problem whenever you have that, they can look really awesome. But like I said, see how her words are all split up here? It doesn't matter. Her page is still awesome. So you can have like a total trend of just being who you are, posting what you want. Also, the lights and so forth of the actual post are great. So let's talk about the hashtags and how you can use them to network, because hashtags are everything. And I'm a true believer in that. Hashtags are literally everything. And if you're not using them now, you need to change that starting like today, because I've seen people killing it on Instagram, but they are not, they're killing it on Instagram, but they're not getting a lot of engagement or followers. So first of all, I want you to know that this page here that came up when I hit the search bar at the bottom of my page, the little, the magnifying glass, this page is going to be tailored to me. It's tailored to me. It's tailored to people that I like, I follow, I am interested in. I want you to think of a couple things. This is basically my For You page. When you go to this page, it's people that also are going to be posting things that you like, things that you buy, things that you search, things that you post about. Right here, I can tell you, I see a couple of I see a teammate. I see somebody else that's in my company. I see recipes. I see people that had vertical sleeve gastrectomy. Guess what, guys? You could go to this For You page and you can make connections. You could also click on their page and see what kind of hashtags they're using. If they're using any hashtags, they might not be, but they might be people selling stuff too. So you just kind of have to watch that. But you can go on and you can create relationships there. Personally, I spend more time with my hashtags. So I just told you a hashtag for me is vertical sleeve gastrectomy. Okay. So VSG. I'm going to type that in because these people are going to relate to me on a personal level. I'm going to hit search. I'm going to click tags. Sorry, I meant to click tags. I'm going to hit that. Okay. And then I'm going to click this most recent. See where it says top and see where it says most recent. You guys see that on my screen? Top, most recent. You want to click on the most recent. The reason why you want to do that are these are people that just posted. I can automatically say that this first person is, for lack of better words, attention whore. I don't really want to follow her. I want to click on somebody that looks real. Guess what? This is a real person. I can tell it right off the bat. She's been doing this for 11 months. Holy crap. Guess what? I want to follow her. I want to love her picture. And I want to say, wow, your transformation is incredible. And you want to spend, if you're going to do a power hour and meaningful things on Instagram, the best thing that you can do is find relevant things and hashtags that you are going to use a lot. Those are the hashtags that you want to search a lot. So whatever hashtags you're going to be posting a lot of, those are the hashtags you want to be searching a lot of. And then you just want to go down through, and that's who you're going to follow. That's who you're going to like. Those are who you're going to put these genuine comments on. You guys, if you do this for 15 minutes solid and you go back to your page, you're going to start to see a trend of people that are interacting and liking and loving on your stuff just the same, because you just did the same thing and you were super intentional. Do this multiple times a day. The more you do it, the more it's going to happen. You also, if you want to know how to be relevant with these people, is posting the same kind of stuff that they're posting. So this person's showing me like it's okay to share me going for a walk. People want to see that. People are going to stop on that because I just stopped on that. I really don't care about food pictures. I like a self-connection. I like seeing stuff like this, people hustling for their goals, that this person went to fight. I could have a conversation with this person. Also, if you don't know what hashtags to use, you can go into a post, like I said, weight loss surgery, somebody that's VSG. For me, guess what? She also put love yourself. Yes, any one of you guys could put that. If I had a baby after my surgery, I could put baby after VSG. Self-confidence, that's also one. So let's just go off of that. Say I want to change my hashtag and I want to go to self-confidence. I'm going to do the same thing. I can hit recent, and then I can go down through and I can compliment all of these people that use self-confidence in their post, and make a connection. Just a brown-eyed girl. This girl's obviously looking for, she's just feeling herself right now, right? So guess what? I can connect with her. I can also click on her page. She's a simple girl, mama to homebody, coughing and leggings, believer. Man, she sounds like we could get along just fine. And guess what? She's also in network marketing. I can see that straight from her profile. She may or may not try to sell me, but guess what? Because she is in network marketing, because we do have things in common, I can look at her page and I can get ideas and motivation and inspiration of something that I could also share, because post ideas sometimes don't run rampant to me. So I could get an idea of, oh, okay, like what caught my attention on her page? What looks great? Her shake looked yummy. That might catch somebody else's attention along the lines. All right. So searching hashtags that are relevant to you, clicking on hashtags. Let's go a different route. We want to search places. First of all, you'll need your locations turned on. These are all places local to me. Okay. What does that do? So, first of all, people that go to Fairmont State University, which is the college right next to my town, okay, click most recent. School's not in right now. But if I wanted to connect with a bunch of college students that live locally to me, that maybe I would, if I, I'm getting ready to finish one of my degrees, and I want to now go in and search other people that are going to my college and whatever. I can search my university and go there, right? If you're a college student, maybe you're a teacher, and you want to search something to do with teaching, or maybe I don't know what the hashtags for teachers are, or maybe you go for walks a lot and you want to tag your location, which I don't recommend tagging your location, guys. Whenever you're actually at that location, tagging it later on is fine, but if you're like, be smart, you're on Instagram, if you tag your location and you let people know like when you're at that location all the time, like you're kind of, it's just unsafe practice. So if you want to tag your location, that's fine. I don't tag it when I'm actually in places. I wait until after I'm not there anymore, to personally tag stuff. But so maybe I go for walks at Prickett's Ford. I could tag Prickett's Ford, and guess what? I could go on this person's post right here. I could friend this person. She's local to me. Okay. So follow, like, and I could comment and say this. I totally agree. This tunnel. I agree. It's so spooky. I agree. It creeps me out every time. That's when I'm right. I agree. It creeps me out every time because it is. It's super creepy tunnel. All right. I'm showing you this because do you want to see how you connect with people and network with people in your area? Well, isn't that a relatable thing? What I just did there? That's relatable, right? People can relate to that. This person may or may not follow me. I don't know. This person's out doing handstands. Who wouldn't want that person if you're in like network marketing on their team? Somebody that's going to post that. They look like they're wanting to be healthy, happy. I had a Zoom in. So anyways, this person is obviously posting. They're into fitness. They're into the same kind of stuff that I'm into. Great. We could relate. Same thing, just talking about the ducks. I mean, you guys aren't from my area, so you wouldn't maybe understand some of these things, but if you can get where I'm coming. Skateaway is a skate park. Maybe I go there with my kids. I don't go there with my kids, but if I did go there with my kids a lot, maybe I'd want to go on there and look and see other moms that had tagged their kids. For example, I guarantee that's something that people have done, tag their kids or tag themselves. It looks like this is more of a kids hangout. Not really. I don't really go to bars. Mom's Diner is a place. Mom's Place. It's a place that a lot of people go to when they're drunk. Sad but true. Anyways, if I went there a lot, we don't have a lot of stuff in my area. Backwoods at the Belmont's probably one of my favorite restaurants. A lot of people I know go there. Guess what? I can go on and I can connect with people that if I recognize anybody in these pictures or people that I want to friend, or maybe I just, because I'm local, I decide I want to friend them or whatever. Okay. Insane Stain is like a tattoo place. Maybe I want to connect with, depending on what your business is, maybe you want to connect with somebody that's got a common tattoo issue, or maybe you're really, really into tattoos and you want to get on and you're like, oh man, like this is somebody talking about, they're obviously in the medical field, they've got an awesome new tattoo, and maybe you just want to make a connection with these people. I don't know. Obviously I don't have a lot of places that I go to. One of my favorite places to shop is, let me go here, Torrid. Torrid is somewhere that I used to post a ton. I'm just gonna look up Torrid because it's a popular hashtag. I'm following this hashtag. Do you see that? I'm following this hashtag up here. And I'm also going to click most recent. So I'm going to show you why I'm following it here in just a second. And I'm sorry, guys, if I'm all over the place, but I hope that you're following me in these different areas and these different tips, because there's a lot to learn. And like I said, here's something else that's important. So I just told you I want to look up Torrid. There are a lot of people that are going to relate to me, my size, my journey. Not as much now as what there used to be, but my clothing that I'm wearing 90% of the time is from Torrid. Right now, this shirt is from Torrid. So if I make a post, somebody's gonna, and I hashtag Torrid, it's gonna be relevant because I'm wearing a shirt from Torrid. So when somebody asks me where I got that shirt, hashtag Torrid, right? So now guess what? I'm gonna pop up in somebody's Torrid search. So this also shows you related hashtags. I clicked most recent because these are people that just recently posted, but I could also click on that Torrid fashion hashtag. These are more models. They're not people that are going to be as much, but also Lane Bryant. There's different feeling myself today. I don't normally follow that hashtag, but I could see most recent, and a lot of these people, they're just sharing their confidence and so forth. And I like confident people. So I could type in different stuff like that. What is a hashtag? Somebody put one over here in the side of a hobby, and I'm going to search it for you. I want somebody just put a hobby or some kind of thing that's relevant to your brand. Okay. Let's go with yoga. Let's go with yoga. So you're posting yoga every day, or you're posting yoga every now and again. Okay. So let's just go with yoga. First, let's start with the fact that yoga, just the hashtag yoga, has, let's go with top hashtags. No, let's just go with tags. Hashtag yoga. Yoga has a lot of stuff. 78.9 million people post to yoga hashtag. Okay. That's a lot of hashtags that have been used. You can click most recent, and these are people that just posted just now. I want you guys to see something. The more people, you can click follow, and I'm going to show you where it's at, or you can just look yoga practice. yoga love. There's different hashtags that maybe instead of using hashtag yoga, you might want to use yoga life, because it doesn't have quite as many people, but you see there's still a lot of people posting to it, right? But I want you guys to see something with this yoga one. You know how I just refreshed it? Hold on. Look how quick it changes. Look how far down those people are. Hold on. Give it a couple seconds. Remember what I told you. As soon as you post, you only have a few seconds to get your post. See how quick it goes? These are, and look, I could just sit here all day long, and every single time I do that, those posts are further and further down. See how quick that is? That's what I'm telling you. When people go to this, search this hashtag, this is how they're going to find your stuff, but they're only going to find your stuff if you post that hashtag right away. And somebody might just be looking at this hashtag and they're searching, and they might also come across your stuff that way. But the less 78 million hashtags, I would use one that had less. So I would go over to Yoga Life. Okay, Yoga Life can turn into Yoga Love. You're getting to a little bit less. Yoga Practice has like 5 million. Daily Yoga has 330,000 K. What I'm telling you here is you might not find as many people posting to this one, but there might not be as many hashtagging to this one, but if you use this hashtag, more people are going to find you on this hashtag and relate to you, because your profile and your hashtag is going to be relevant longer. I hope that makes sense. Somebody tell me if that taught you something there. Okay. So you can go, and you can even go even further, and you can say Yoga Tribe. Okay. You see how this goes? Okay. Yes. Okay. Perfect. I'm getting some aha. Yoga body. See, we're getting into different types of hashtags that maybe you haven't thought to use before, but they're always going to be relevant, right? So let's give me another one. And like I said, guys, I'll read these comments here in a few minutes. I want to make sure I get through all of these different materials here. Okay, oil field. That's fair. That's fair. So you are somebody that's in the oil field. What else are you into? I'm going to type in oil field, but I don't know what your name is. C, oil field. So what else are you into? I'm guessing you're a guy. Are you a guy or are you a woman? Oil field. Oil field. Because, you're going to be a tricky one, but I'm going to help you here. You're a woman. Okay. All right. So as you can see, there are some women that are in the oil field, right? So guess what? There's not a lot, but you can go over and you could type in, well, there's welding porn. I don't know what your personality is. Or oil field strong. There's all these different things. Type in most recent. Scroll down. If you see a woman, because you're also a woman, I don't see a lot on this one. Oil field life. Let's type that. Oh, here's a woman. Okay. This is a top. It's a top one. It's not a most recent one, but that's okay. You can use this to your benefit, because you need to know what to use. You need to know what to type. Okay. You need to know what kind of hashtags to use. So now you're going to turn it around and you're going to use this in somebody that else's stuff that gives you an idea. You're going to click on this girl here because it says that she's a top search. I want you to look at some of the stuff that she's using, hashtags. Okay. That is going to help you right there. That is going to be helpful. Okay. So this is another woman. You can use oil field mama or mafia, wherever her location is. I hope that helps you. That'll give you a wife of an oil field worker, oil field wife. These are types of things, backyard farming, nature, women. Okay, so use those words to help you generate. Those of you guys, I see some of you guys typing in mediation, sober. Let's type in sober. Okay. So first off, a friend of mine, her stuff is super searched. Remember how I told you that that first name is going to be what is searchable? She branded this at her name. When you search her, first of all, her username is Sober Court, okay? But when you search, she's Courtney Glazier, millionaire mom, okay? And you know what you're going to get from her, and you see that she's not afraid to share her products, her opportunity, anything like that, but she shares her journey. And sometimes that has to do, what is she sober from? She shares that. Not everybody that has gotten sober or that has been a previous addict wants to share exactly what they were addicted to. That's fine. I'm just proud that people, it's not so anonymous anymore and people are talking about it, because I think that takes the stigma away, just like having weight loss surgery. The more people talk about it, the more people realize that it's okay and we're not alone. So anyways, you're going to want to share different stuff like that, right? So you're going to want to click tags, and this is going to give you an idea. Sober life, sober living, sober is sexy, sober as fuck, sober curious, sober mom. These are sober lifestyle. As you go down, what you're going to want to note is the ones that are less numbers on it are the ones that you want to use on your post. The ones with the most numbers on it are sometimes the ones that you want to find people. So again, these are people that are going to relate. If you're sharing, now listen to me here. If you're sharing being sober as part of your brand, part of your journey, and you are actually sharing that, then this is relevant to you. If you are not sharing that, then these people are going to wonder why the hell you're following them. Okay? So you've got to talk about it. If that's going to be part of your brand, then you need to talk about it, because you need to realize that you're going to change people's lives. And if you get on a mission of sharing your journey, that's how you're going to change people's lives. And that's when people can connect with you. Okay. But if you're not going to share about it, then you need to understand some of these people aren't going to connect with you, because they're not going to know what you are all about. Okay. But if you're going to share about it, you need to share about it in a positive way, because you know that people going through recovery, and I know this because I used to work in recovery, I used to work with addiction prior to becoming a nurse, is that they're not going to connect with you unless they can respect where you're at. And they don't need negativity. They need uplifted. They need positivity. They need to know there's hope. They need to know that that things don't have to be the way, right? So you're going to want to connect with people that most recently posted sober and recent, and let's be real, people that recover and that get sober, they're strong as hell. All right, because we know that that is a hard journey to go through. So these people are fighters, and you're going to get a lot of hashtags to use for there, right? So let's switch. Okay, so Ashley, I see your questions over here on the side, and I'm going to tell you this. You've got a lot of different stuff happening there. I would zone in and focus on just a couple that you want to make a huge impact, and you want to work on healing yourself for one at a time, and kind of focus there, because you've got some major things happening. And I think that if you do them all at one time, it's going to look like, man, you've got a lot happening on your life. You're going to have a harder time making that connection. So I would only focus on one thing at a time that you're kind of like growing on, and then you can let people know more about you as you open up. But I would kind of grow there, right? So okay, so you want to look up places, you want to look up places that you go, places that you love, favorite clothing stores if you post a lot about your clothes. I want to go to my news feed. So oh darn, okay, so actually, I'm going to go to my newsfeed, because right now is another thing that you're going to want to do. And you're going to want to spend time on your interacting with your followers. These are people that you're actively following, or hashtags, pages that you are actively following. This is somebody that used to be on my team. Okay, so of course, I'm going to show her love, and she's so precious, right? I'm going to make a genuine connection with her. You're going to come across ads. There's not a whole lot you can do on Instagram. This is somebody talking about their to-do list every single day. How many of you guys can relate to needing a schedule right now? Guess what? I can like, I can comment. This is somebody that I'm already following. I just interacted with her. This is somebody that I'm following. She's on a weight loss journey. I can comment. I can like. We just interacted. I'm spending a 15-minute hair or 15-minute power hour time, and I'm connecting with now my followers and people that I've already invested in following and following these hashtags. This is somebody on my team. I can like. I can comment. This is me following a hashtag. You can see that hashtag VSG. That means I'm not following this person. I could click on Melting Mallory. I could follow her if I really wanted to, but I want you guys to understand why you want to make sure you have a business. If you have a business, I want you to see what she has on her page. No sales. Want to know why? Because some jackass, excuse my language, some jackass has followed her and sent her a message the moment that they sent her a follow. Don't be that person. Don't be that person. She doesn't want you to buy your crap, okay? She wants you to connect with her. You don't see, I see Amber said that she doesn't have a places tab. I'll come back to some of these here in just a second. Okay, so sorry guys, I get sidetracked. So anyways, this is also going to be where I say, how the heck did I end up following this person? I probably did it at a time like 20 years ago when I did all the wrong things that I wasn't supposed to do on Instagram, because I guess what I come across as people, I'm not the greatest. I mass followed, searched hashtags, and just went down and followed. Yes, to answer your question, people do not, or Facebook, Instagram does not like that. But guess what? I've done everything wrong in order to get to where I'm at today. And you are too. You're going to, at some point in time, buy into one of these apps that says you're going to get 1,000 followers. And then guess what? You're going to get 1,000 followers, and then they're all going to fall off in a couple days after you're done paying for it. So I want you to understand, like, yes, a lot of us have done that. I did that many years ago. And so occasionally I come across somebody that I'm like, where did this person come from? That's a weirdo. Or, something that I see that's not relating. But most of the time I followed these people because they have also posted something that I can relate to. This person posted something to do with Ulta Beauty. So it's somebody that I can relate to. This person has also had sleeve. A lot of the people I follow, like, I can say, oh, I really like what she's putting on there. I'm going to click on her profile. Oh, look, she's following me. I'm not following her. Look at this girl's page. Why am I not following her? Let's change that right now. Let's really change that right now and say, holy crap, girl, you look amazing. Right? Because that's exactly what I thought as soon as I saw it. So that's what I want to say. I just made a connection. Realized, oh, wait, that girl's already following me. Like, why am I not following her back? You guys, that's the key right there, is making that relationship, the people that you want to follow and that you want to follow you, that you can relate to on each other's journeys. Okay. So again, you're just going to go down through. This is where I figure out who I'm going to follow, who I'm going to unfollow. There's no offense to grandma, but me and grandma can't really relate. Okay. So I've got a lot of people I'm following. Grandma posts a lot. She doesn't really interact a lot. I'm going to unfollow grandma. It's nothing personal, grandma. It's just, you're not really, we're not relating on a whole bunch of levels. Okay. And I actually think I might've been following her due to, oh, this person's working by her pool. Okay. Something else. Let's look and see. She's a thriver. So she's working by her pool, but guess what? She's doing something right. So if you're on here right now and you're that person, you're doing something right. You're working by a pool. You just made me click on your post. Instagram just gave you a high five. Even though I didn't like it or I didn't love on it, Instagram still noticed that, guess what? I just clicked on your post. They're going to show you to more people now. You see how that's happening? Okay. Same thing, guys. So I'm going to scroll down through here. This person's procrastination. Sometimes I just read a word. It's a funny thing. Guess what? She's typing in something. She's spreading love. She's talking about procrastination. I can get this girl. I can get this girl. She doesn't have a lot in her profile. She probably doesn't sell anything. Oh, yep, she does. But she doesn't have a lot in her profile. So she needs to change that up, right? But she did have something right. Her post, this post out of all her posts, caught my attention because she said procrastination is a funny thing, something I could relate to. All right. So I want you guys to think about that. What makes you click on these people's posts that you're liking, you're commenting, you're following, right? This girl is in my inbox all the time, right? And she's always going back and forth to me. You know, you can see, just keep on going down through, right? Okay, so we're already in an hour and I've just talk. So Instagram is your new Google. Let me come off of my screen sharing and stop screen sharing for a second. Because, man, I'm sorry. That was a lot of information. Did you guys get a lot of information from that? Because, I mean, I could just talk. Okay. I was told it's a good idea to use super popular, not very popular, and in between the 3 minimums. I will tell you, I use a little mixture of everything. I use a mixture of super popular because it's straight to the point to not as popular, but not super crazy, confusing things, right? I'm reading a lot of questions over here. Okay, does the time in between posts matter? I would just get consistent. So some people post once a day. Some people post every other day. My daughter is 17 years old. I'm going to tell you, like, the major year age groups are teenagers to like 30s, 40s. You do have people in different generations that are on Instagram, but guess what? The majority of people are going to be like in that age realm. I mean, that's just a fact. If you Google it, you can see what the ages are for Instagram. Most of them are women or, you know, military guys that are not really military guys. Please don't fall for these guys like in your inbox, guys. Okay, like for real, they're not real. Okay, they might be really hot, but they're not real people. So just a heads up. Okay, I love you. Don't get catfished. All right. In fact, I don't even open up. Like I just block and just, I mean, a lot of these people just sit in my inbox all the time. You're not going to stop spammers from messaging you. Get over it. Okay. Don't worry about it. If somebody spams your post, you just swipe it, hit the turn in for spam, and move on. Don't argue with them on your post that they're spamming your post. You don't need to do any of that business. Just block them and move on. Chances are, if you're getting a lot of spam on your post, you're probably using a hashtag that's triggering that spam. So if you're doing super salesy, is it good to auto share to Facebook story? Yes or no? I think that in the beginning, it really doesn't matter. I feel like if you want to auto share, make sure that it's public though, if you're going to auto share it. Because here's the thing. I don't really pay mind to algorithms too much until you're consistent. And then you can see, once you're consistent, you can kind of see what's like hurting you and helping you, and what you might need to change. First things first, though, doing the action and doing things like that is going to be the most helpful. Someone used my husband. Yeah. I see somebody talking about, so she's young, she's 19, she's in college. And I'm just going to answer some of these questions, and hopefully it'll help each of you guys. How would you approach representing a brand or influencing people to try? So relating to people in your age group. My daughter always says that my age group, what works for me is being authentic and who I am, and that's totally cool, but it would never work for her age group. And not saying like you can't be authentic and who you are, but I'm saying like your age group wants better pictures. They're kind of like more on like taking more personal stuff. They're more, in her words, aesthetically pleasing. And I think that's really across the board. I think everybody wants it to be aesthetically pleasing, right? So for your group, I would just say, what is it that attracted you to join? That there's other people out there like you. Talk about that. Okay. And that is going to be what's going to relate you to people. So you just said it, you're 19. So be your age, be who you are, live your life, share that life. Show why you're doing this business, how you're growing in this business, that you're a college student, share you studying, hashtag college student, hashtag work from home, hashtag extra cash, hashtag thankful, hashtag can't wait till I graduate. Hope that kind of helps you, right? So yeah. Let's say thoughts on apps and post automatically for you. So unless this has changed, Buffer, all of those apps don't actually post for you. You can set them up for a time and they'll alert you, and you still have to physically go in and post. You know what? Again, it comes down to it really comes down to what you're going to be consistent with. For me, I can tell you that I like to post when I'm consistent. I like to post 1 to 2 times a day. Normally it's on a once on my actual page. I spend way more time. And I actually work Instagram every single day. I just don't post on Instagram every day, and I don't even post in my stories every day. However, I am replying to other people's stories, okay, which I'll get into just briefly. Replying to other people's stories, replying to other people's polls, because I want to play with other people's stuff so that they will eventually play with mine. Of course, it's better to have some up because then they're more likely to check my stuff out. But in the end of the day, it's more important for me to build the relationship with them, right? So if I don't have a lot of time, I'm going to spend my time interacting versus posting, especially if I'm not going to have a lot of time to go back and interact with them. I'm going to spend more time on my news feed and posting, looking up hashtags, going and interacting, liking, commenting, friending, following, unfollowing people, and growing those relationships that way. There was something else. Hold on before I move on and reading more questions. So most recent compliment follow. I'm going to give you a couple other tips real quick. I saved. I wanted to make sure I said. So this person I've been following for like 7 or 8 years now. She said it doesn't matter if you've left your account unused or not, just reactivate an old account, get started. So like if you've just kind of left it or whatever, that's fine. If you have stuff that's no longer relevant to you, you can go back and delete it. As you guys can see, if you scroll way down on my page, I have all my old business posts, whatever, I don't care. I did delete a lot of stuff, but a lot of it was like, I just left because it was so many posts. But for the most part, if you can delete some of that stuff or you don't have 1,000 of them, then go ahead. Update your bio, reintroduce yourself on Instagram, get consistent, start leveraging hashtags in your post and in your stories. You guys, don't underestimate the hashtag in your stories. And right now, when you're posting your stories, use that stay at home tab that they have in Instagram and on Facebook as often as possible, because it's going to help whenever people see that stay at home thing pop up, that you're going to show up in that stay at home, in that little thing that Facebook and Instagram will show sometimes. So you'll be part of that group. Just like on Easter, you'll have like hashtag Easter, and it's like the most common in stories that people are clicking on. You can archive any old pictures if you want. You don't have to. Go to each of your followers and start engaging. That is what I was showing you in newsfeed. Or you can click your followers and you can just go down through and start engaging with all of those people. Or you, like I said, you can go through your newsfeed, and that's how I know I don't really care for what they're posting anymore. It's not relevant to me, or it's somebody that I haven't seen for a while. I want to go through and add. Now Instagram does have a thing where they're changing like your most recent and your like you can put people in order. That's a whole nother day of stuff. But anyways, it's so awesome because you can actually unfollow people that maybe you've been following the longest that are no longer active on Instagram, which is super cool because before I'd have to scroll down all the way down to the end, and that was like take forever because I'm following like the max amount. And honestly, guys, there's times on Instagram where I have just gone through and unfollowed the max amount that I possibly could. I've used apps to unfollow people. I don't get caught up on looking at, and I never have, and I could care less, people that unfollow me. Do not care who unfollows you. Do not look at, don't pay attention to who unfollows you. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it does not matter. If you aren't their cup of tea, you're not their cup of tea. Don't get hung up on that stuff. I've seen people that like really, really throw them off. Pick a schedule and stick with it. If you can only do it at night, do your interaction at night. If you can only do it a day, do it a day. If you can only do it at certain times of the day, but you are getting it done, then get it done. Okay. But my point is, the more consistent you can be, the better. Post on your other social media sites. Let people know that you're back on Instagram. Like if you haven't been on Instagram for a while, go to Facebook and say, who's on Instagram? I want to follow you. Okay. Like seriously, go to a page that you're on and say, who posts about their journey on their page? Or maybe you're like posting about mom tips or something, like creative tips on your Instagram, and you're on a mom page or a Pinterest page or something, and you want to go post it, and you're like, hey, who else on Instagram and post their tips too? Because I want to follow you. Here's my Instagram. Or I could go on my gastric sleep page and I could say, who all posts on their or who all post their journey on Instagram because I want to follow you. True and authentic. They're going to see that I'm also on that same journey, right? So if you're on a group on Facebook, you can go type that in, a follow thread, or you can go search that group for Instagram. And I guarantee there's follow threads that you can go follow all those people, and you can also put yours and get them to follow you. Find your niche and start interacting. Niche is the things that you are good at, that you like to share. Like me, my health and wellness journey. Honestly, I've been kind of paralyzed over the past couple weeks with this quarantine, and I just need to talk about that more because a lot of people can relate to that. I haven't been exercising the way that I had, and you'd think that that would make me feel better, but I've been paralyzed, and my anxiety has just like been skyrocketed. I need to talk about that more because that's part of where I'm at right now in my journey, and that's what people are going to relate to. Also, have patience, stay consistent, and know that it doesn't happen overnight, but the more consistent you are with it, the more you're going to make that connection with people. So if you're struggling right now, you've got all the perfect posts, you've got your niche, you've got your great stuff, but you're not getting a lot of interaction, you're going to want to spend more time making sure that you're targeting your audience of people that are posting similar things to what you are putting out there for them. And that is working on your engagement, and you're going to increase your engagement in your following and the people following you. And you want to work on that every single day. Also focus on your news feed and so forth, right? So for stories, like I said, we're not going there because it's just not my strong suit. However, going through and just making sure that you're interacting with people on a daily basis is going to be huge place to start. You can post generic stories, guys, or you can just get inspired. You can go to Pinterest if you want some interactive stuff. You can go to Pinterest and type in interactive Instagram stories, interactive Facebook stories, and you can grab some of their things to fill out there. Also quotes, people like quotes sometimes if you're just not good. Some people like to go live. People like to share videos. People like to just it's kind of like the behind the scenes stuff. And I'm just not super creative. It's not something that I've spent a lot of time on. But by all means, if you can ace it, you're going to change the game. I have people on my team that are just, I mean, that's where they're getting all their customers, all their promoters are from Instagram stories and Facebook stories, and it's constant. And they might only have like 10 likes on their actual post on Instagram, but they've got like thousands of people following their Instagram stories because people just get connected, right? There's like a totally different audience. And like I said, it's a different platform. So what is mirroring? Mirroring is just the way that I was able to share it on here. It's how I screen shared my app. Uh, so I'm just going to answer questions now. Do you think about, what do you think about using the name? I don't, so I use my Instagram stories. If you do not know what Instagram stories are, I want to challenge you tonight to go to YouTube and type in Instagram stories and watch some videos on Instagram stories. In fact, go do that anyways, regardless. Even if you're somebody that has been doing this for a while, go and type in Instagram stories on YouTube, and I promise you, you are going to learn something new. And every day, go watch a 5-minute video of somebody that put something in Instagram stories. You're going to learn something. Similar posts to Instagram and Facebook, depends if that's what your audience is. Somebody said this the other day. I think it was Chas. She made a post and she was talking about Instagram being your front yard and Facebook being your backyard, like people that kind of get to know you a little bit more. So I think of this. So Facebook is more my warm market. It's more people that I went to school with. It's more people that I worked with. It's more people that I have, I live by, I interact with on a daily basis. Instagram is where I built my cold market. It's where I started building my international team. It's where I met, it's where I signed my first Canadian. It literally is where I signed my first out of state, promoter, my out of state customers. And you guys, when I started getting consistent with it, I started exploding, and then it fueled my fire to just keep on going with it. And I realized the more consistent I got, the more power hours I did, the more interaction that I did, the more people connected with me. And listen, it's super important. Please listen to me when I say this, for you to have a call to action. Like, people need to read your post and know that they can reach out to you without you being like, buy this, buy that, but know that they can connect with you. So you want to make sure you're making a call to action, like, let people know, like, if you have something that you have something, right? Like, I absolutely love this. I'm so thankful I found it. Let me know if you ever need any information about it or whatever, right? I mean, just get better. You're going to get better with your wordings as you go. I unlinked my Facebook and IG and have more interaction that way too. I reference IG on my Facebook and vice versa. Yeah, so I personally don't like my accounts linked. I think that you will get less interaction, but um if you're not posting on one and it's going to help you post on both, then by all means I would share it. If it's going to help you get more consistent on posting on both, then link them if you want. But for most part, yes, you will get more interaction if you post them individually. And also, like I said, there's just two different audiences. I get more story views. Yeah. And story views are, I mean, you guys, if you work them, you're going to get a lot. So what other questions do we have over here? Because like I said, I could go on and on and on, and there's so much to share on it. I'm trying to read back. Filters are great, but not over filtering. Should you change? Lisa, is there any questions that you can think of? I don't know where she's at. Did Lisa get kicked off?
No, I can't think of anything.
Does anybody else have any questions in particular that you're dying to ask? Why put hashtags in comments and not in the caption? Because it's ugly. No, really, I swear, in all honesty, not only is it ugly, and it looks lazy, and people, that matters, guys. It matters. Okay. For one, your caption, the better it's wrote out and like spaced out and better, and people do read them, the better. And it's just, I don't know, like everybody that I've ever read or everybody that I've ever watched with network marketing has told me to put them in the first comment. And most recently also been told that is what is more aesthetically acceptable now, I guess you could say. I mean, you technically, I guess, could, but you only have so much room that you can post your first paragraph anyways. So I don't want to waste that with hashtags. And I just think it looks tacky. It does. Tacky is a word for it. Photo you add honestly. Hold on a second. Photos of you add automatically or add manually. I'm not sure what that means. Photos of you. What do you mean, Barb? You want to unmute yourself for a second? So I think I know what you mean. So if somebody tags me in photos or anything like that, I don't tag them.
Actually, I figured out how to unmute myself on this.
Okay.
Yeah, no, in the settings, it's because I'm just starting to go through this. I just downloaded it. There's a section where it says photos of you. Either you add automatically or you add manually.
So
will that actually take stuff from your camera or like from your photos and that and add them directly, or?
Yeah, so it's telling you like it's going to save basically every photo. It's not going to post it for you, but it's going to save your photos that you post on Instagram. And so I actually did have that set for a while, and it goes to like its own album because I posted it on Instagram. So you can do that. I don't have it on mine just because I ended up with it in my profile and also in an album. So I turned that off, I think, at some point in time because I don't have them all posting there anymore. So that has helped a lot. Hold on. Okay, so somebody said, do you always follow them or just go to their page and like and comment? I know it probably depends on if they are relatable to me. So I do not follow everybody that follows me or that I only follow people that I can relate to. So that means I'm constantly following new people and constantly unfollowing people. People are always going to become irrelevant or somebody that's not engaging with me or somebody that's not interacting with me. If I see their post and they're not somebody that is grabbing my attention and I never see them on my page, then I'm going to unfollow them. There's no questions asked. So yeah, I don't follow everybody. It just depends on how much I'm going to relate to them. Is the app that was shared earlier the only way to make it look more appealing? Absolutely not. Anything that you get consistent with is going to make it appealing. Like for me, I don't even use any filters. I'm like the least consistent person when it comes to a filter on the planet. And I have always been that way. However, I've always had some kind of aesthetically reasoning behind my post. If it's just all selfies and all personal stuff, then I want it to be bright. And I will add bright filters, but they're probably not all the same filter. I tried that and I felt like I was throwing up my face everywhere. So I was like, okay, I've got to break this up a little bit and I've got to have like some kind of place that I can like, whatever. So that's where I started saying, you know what, I'm just gonna get back to that white picture again, like with a quote of something that I feel like I can share, and I can kind of spin it however I want. So you can make your page any way you want. You can make it colorful. You can put a white background on it. On every picture, you can put like boxed a certain way. You do whatever you want. Just get consistent with something. I also like it where it changes by the season, like where your colors like kind of change, like brighter as the spring and summer come, and then like orangey and reds and stuff like that towards the fall and then winter. I like those as well. So a funny thing is, how many hashtags can you put in your stories? So hashtags in stories, you can put as many as you want, but you want to hide them. You don't want them to be all over the place. I mean, you can put a couple where you can see, but for the most part, you want to hide them like behind your pictures and so forth. So you don't want to like throw up hashtags there. When you look at IG, I see a huge chunk of hashtags in the description. I move along. Yeah, and see, that's a personal thing. To be honest with you, I don't. If somebody's using hashtags, I think they're smart. And they're probably somebody business minded that I want to follow. So I actually don't do that because hashtags are exactly what I've learned from every single person that's taught a network marketing course online about Instagram. Hashtags are gold. So DMs are not necessary for interaction like in Facebook. So Instagram didn't have DMs when I started it, and you had to put your cell phone number or your email. And that is how people connected to you. And then there was like an Instagram app, and it was totally like cheesy, and it was like awful for like Messenger, kind of like Facebook Messenger, but it was like totally different. And then you start being able to do DMs. So DMs, 100% I am in people's DMs all the time because I'm complimenting them, or I'm making connection with them, or I'm asking them a question or advice on something that I saw on their page that was awesome. And I wanted to ask them how they got past their stall, or something relatable that could relate to me in my journey. Like if there's somebody training for a 5K or a half marathon, I might ask them advice on like what shoes they're wearing, or how they were able to get past the hurdle of, running 5 miles to how they increased it to 10 miles, and so forth. Right. So that's something else. Can you do IG option? Yeah, I don't care who's following. If you go in on old posts and hashtag, does it bring it back to the top? No. So that's how Instagram used to be. I really pray that one day that you can take the hashtags off and you can put them new. That was actually something that I used to do. And about 2014, 2015, Instagram changed and they took it away. So now your hashtags only keep relevancy for just a few minutes, unless it's something that's not very common. Like I said, it's a constantly revolving door. So deleting your hashtags and putting new hashtags is not going to change it. Okay. Deleting your hashtags and adding new hashtags is not going to do diddly squat to it. Do you have to use the apps to get pictures and message in the middle? You don't have to use the apps to get pictures and messages in the middle, but it's going to take you a lot of time to get those lined up if you don't use the apps. Yeah, I've got a Zoom with at like 9, so I'm going to have to hop off here shortly too. DMs are the direct messenger. Kira, if you, I'm not sure if I said your name right, but I would go and look those. I would look that up. I would Google that, what direct messenger is on Instagram. That's how you're going to learn. What highlight section should we have? Not sure what that means. What highlight section? I'm not sure what that means. Yes, this is recorded and I will have it up here soon. How do you get a background? You guys, those are all apps. Whatever you do, those are all apps. So if you want, I'm going to tell you some of the apps that I use for Instagram. Tagomatic is one of them. That's what I use for my hashtags. I also use InstaSize. When I used to use my white background that you guys saw, in fact, it's still in my InstaSize. I can get it up and I'll show you. You know how you guys saw all those pictures that I had before. Like I literally just would put, see, that's my app, InstaSize. I've had it forever, and I would just lay a picture on it, and it would, print or whatever. I also use PicTapGo, and something cool about PicTapGo is also it's got great, I don't remember if it costs money though. I've had it for so long, guys. Maybe somebody on here knows. Does PicTapGo have cost money? I'm not sure. But anyways, PicTapGo also has, you can edit it, and you can have certain things, like use like 3 certain ones. Like I used to use highlights, crispity, and contrast, I think a lot, I want to say. Anyways, it just like made my picture pop, and then you can post it to an Instagram crop, an Instagram float, and it'll have just a background, a white background on the back. But there's other apps that you guys can use for that. If you blur a lot of pictures, or you do like the double pictures, you can use photo mirror. Like you ever see the side by sides where you see people where they have 2 pictures of themselves? Photo mirror, blur photo. Later preview, Planoly, which I can't, let me spell that because I never can pronounce it right. Planoly, that was the one that, I forget what your name is, that said it at the very beginning. I still have it on my phone, but I never use it. Planoly. There, typed it in. Okay. Those are basically, guys, the ones that I use the most. If anybody has any other ones, you absolutely can put it in here. PickTap Goes, $2.99 Play Store. Yeah, so I thought it was, but I'll tell you what, it's honestly completely incredible. This one, because I saved it, will actually be on my Instagram or my YouTube channel, because I'll have to upload it. So I will get this uploaded and I'll post it in the event page, guys. I do have to hop on another Zoom as well tonight. I promise you that if you have any questions about the Zoom, you can put it in that event page and just tag me, and I'll try to answer them there as well. I hope this helped you guys tonight. There's, like I said, there's so much that you can do, but if you just focus on staying consistent, and utilizing those search features to really relate and narrow down your hashtags and people that you are going to interact with, it's going to be a game changer for you, like a game changer. That's probably one of the biggest things that people don't focus on. They focus so much on what they're posting and what they are putting out there, but really, guys, what you should be focused on is how you're making other people feel, who you're connecting with, who you're building that relationship with, who you're making feel important. Those are the people that are going to change your business and going to be more likely to join you. So again, I hope everybody has a great night. I will get this uploaded and added to the page. It will either be on there tonight or tomorrow. So I'm going to start uploading it now. So everybody have a good night. And thank you again so much for jumping on. And I hope you learned a lot. Bye, guys.